Myron, I can't. I've been too emotional today. I've been too emotional, and I can't. I can't take this. Thank you for commenting. Of course, I can take this. I love this. Can I tell you? Every man I've I've come into. What the hell do you say? I don't even have words no more. But every man that I've encountered with, is that how you say it? My spaghetti soup right now, including my son, I wrap my arms around every time since I was younger. And despite me noticing these things about them, I never treat them bad. So even when I was on my channel, and I will admit I had horrible delivery, because if you're trying to, I wasn't, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't talking to the men, I was talking to the women. That's why I was so vicious in my message, right? But every time I made a video talking, I would say, fuck nigga, right? So they didn't receive the message. But in my real life, not on the internet, in my real life, if there's a man that talks to me, I embrace him, right? I get to know more about him. I talk to him. I try to speak life into him every time. And I do this even knowing what I know, right? I even do this anticipating that, especially in romantic relationships, that we're going to fall out. Because, I used to say I'm just too difficult. I guess I'm just too difficult. But it's Darvo. It's that Darvo shit. Look at the other video I just made about the meaning of Darvo. Thank you, Jenny, again. They don't want to take accountability, so they project and they make me the enemy, right? And I always find it so disheartening and unfortunate that they can't hear what I'm saying when I'm really saying everything I say out of love. I really am. I really am. I have a son. I'm rooting for him. I'm just not one of those women, even especially with my son, who's going to tolerate nonsense, right? If you're going to be in my presence, you're going to be respectful. You're going to learn. You're going to understand. And the moment that you cannot do that, then you have to go. Because it's all love over here. It's literally all love. That's my favorite thing to do, is be loving. Compliment people. Tell them what I see. Well, you're amazing. Look at you. It's my favorite thing to do. So when it becomes toxic, I let them go, right? But I'm responding to this comment because I want women, okay? I'm still talking to the women. I want women to read this comment, and I want them to understand that there are men out here who do want to do better, okay? And I'm about to say something that hurts. We would like to believe that men are just out here influencing each other, and they are. It's weird. Every time I meet a man, he always has this large friend group, and there's no mistake, Myron. There's no mistake. If you're a man and watching, there's just no mistake that they do that because they need each other to lean on, and then they indoctrinate each other with nonsense, right? But one of the worst people that I see that do this are the women. These are the male-identified women. They're actually more vicious than the men could ever be. I think a lot of the times we can't see ourselves, right? So we are insecure in ways. Even if somebody tells us what they see, it's, you're so amazing, you're so beautiful, you're so this, we can't see it in ourselves, right? And I like to compare this to, I would say, society. And society, this is a patriarchal society, and even though men are put on a pedestal and they're told that they don't have anything to correct, and you're great and all this stuff, you can commit crime, you can do this, you can do that, and we'll still show up for you. We'll still say, we'll just let you around us easily. It's just crazy, right? And you're being told that you're the king, right? Kings have to have people who worship them, and gods have to have people who worship them, right? And I find that the people being worshipped don't even worship themselves, right? If you're God, you don't worship yourself. You leave it to your worshipers to worship you. And those worshipers are devout. I don't know how you say it, devoted, devout. I can't remember, right? Talk about Christianity. When you try to go against anybody who believes in the Bible, they will fight hard for it. This is why I say women will aid in their own oppression. They will sit there and say, because they think the Bible even says that we're put here to just worship, right? And this is why I say women can be dangerous, because when they believe that you guys are gods, they worship you to no end. So much so that they take on your ideology. They forget to look at themselves. They're literally on their knees all day just worshiping men. Right? And it is a powerful thing when you see men, the people who are being worshipped, still go against the indoctrination to help wake women up. Because honestly, I think these men are just very in tune with themselves, or they've been very observant in life and they understand, well, why are you worshiping me? Because I worship you. And I'm not saying Myron worships women, but he understands what he sees. When I talked about being egalitarian, that means that when I say women are egalitarian, that means that we think everybody should be treated equally, right? And then I told you about the reactive abuse, and that women are only on here fighting for their right to be queens and, arguing with these men because they started it. But deep down, if you're tapped into your femininity, you want equal rights for everybody. You don't just want to fight and, be on the pedestal. Leave that for them. That's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is see how all of us are valuable and how to create a world where no one's threatened by the other one. If you have femininity and masculinity within all of us, that will be meaning we're fighting ourselves internally, right? Sometimes the masculine side has to come out, and sometimes the femininity has to, shine. We are all capable of being good. We are all capable. This is not a discussion of war. I have to speak to the women because the women are gone. You ever meet a man or they talk about narcissism and you start being nice to them and it pisses them off? It pisses them off because they don't feel the way that you feel about them. They don't feel that about themselves. I'm not talking about Myra specifically. I'm saying like men, a lot of the times when you come in wanting to cater to them and have these conversations about giving them their plate first, and they don't feel worthy, and I think they don't respect you. I think that they put two and two together and say, this fool, she's a fool because she's feeding me before her children. She's doing all this weird shit. Like, she can't be smart. And one thing that I know is that when I talk my power to some men, they love it. They love it. Most of them don't. But I find who I can be around. Even on here, I can make videos. You think I just think women see these videos? Decent men see me talking and they can hear what I'm saying. Women, you have to know that these men don't want you to worship them blindly. They want to learn from you too. So perpetuating this nonsense is not beneficial to anyone. You go harder than the men. You go harder than the men. Thank you, Myron, for your post. I don't hate men. I don't dislike men. I'm trying to hold you accountable. Kudos to you for being able to hear and not being blinded by ego. That's because that's all it is. Pride and ego and the desire to conquer. And no. Myron said, fuck all that. I appreciate this comment. Thank you, Myron.